So I said, oh, when you get to that, I've got an interesting group for you that you might like to check out called the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band. That could be good for that segment.
The Bonzos got involved through Mike McCartney, then known as Mike McGear, who was part of the Scaffold. The Bonzos and the Scaffold kept bumping into each other on the road, and we got on very well. And I think Mike sort of announced it. He said, I've told our kid about you, and said, you ought to be in this film they're doing. So I think our management sort of sent a copy of Gorilla, which was our album we'd just finished, over to them, and I think Paul listened to it and picked the track Death Cab for Cutie. There wasn't a lot of planning to it. It's just, things fell into place.
We'd also just spent 2 days in Raymond's Review Bar with the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band and the Strippers.
We were only there for a day. We weren't on the bus, as it were. We went nowhere near the Dewsbury Road. We just came into the Raymond Review Bar because that's where they were filming. And it's quite funny because John and Ringo had their own little Clockwork Bolex 16mm film. And after a while, there's several takes. This is probably the only strip club in England. And so I said, what are you doing? They said, well, we're doing the Weybridge version, which probably meant, they didn't have to put a little black rectangle over the lady's boobs. Paul was very nice. I remember him coming up to me. He'd obviously listened to the whole of Gorilla and said how much he liked the music for the Head Ballet, which is a kind of harpsichord piece. And George was convinced that Death Cab for Cutie should be a single. And I said, don't be silly, George. You know it's tosh. It's tosh. The idea for the song came from a true crime magazine, an American magazine. I think I picked it up in a market somewhere. There were two sort of headlines on the cover. One was Death Cab for Cutie, and the other was It Was a Great Party Until Somebody Found a Hammer. And it's one of the few songs that Viv and I actually wrote together in the same room. We just sort of Viv slipped into sort of Elvis mode, and we just fantasized on what the story was, Death Cab for Cutie, and well, that's what it became. It's a bit of fun.
At night, Cutie called a cab. Baby, don't do it. She left her East Side room so drab. Baby, don't do it. She went out on the town, knowing it would make her lover frown. Death cab for Cutie, death cab for Cutie. Someone's gonna make you pay your fare.